The wild boar flees. On land is danger, underwater is death. When every path is a trap, is survival instinct enough to keep it alive? Savanna, the wild boar's desperate escape from its predator. Savanna, a seemingly peaceful land under the bright sunlight, but inside is an unforgiving ecosystem. Stretching as far as the eye can see with burnt yellow grasslands dotted with a few lonely acacia trees, this place is the stage of thousands of life and death encounters every day. In the savannah, life and death are only a breath apart. There is no time for hesitation. Every step, every sound can be the starting signal for a chase, an ambush, or an unforeseen end. This is where instinct rules every action, where only the faster, the more agile, and the more resilient are allowed to survive. In the heart of the dry African savanna, where the ground is cracked and the wind carries the heat of dust, a resilient animal has quietly survived through generations. The African warthog, also known as the wild boar, has a thorny appearance, a thick grey skin and curved fangs like scythes protruding from both sides of its cheeks. Its low-slung gait and erect tail like an antenna are signs that help the herd follow each other when moving. They use abandoned burrows of wildebeest, porcupines or mongooses, a clever way to save energy in the dry land. Under the scorching sun of the savanna noon, the cracked ground radiates a sweltering heat, dyeing the whole space yellow. In the middle of the dry, grassy clearing, a herd of wild boars lies flat on the ground to rest. That seemingly peaceful scene has caught the eye of a patient predator. A lioness is lurking behind the grass less than 30 meters away. The air became heavy. The mongooses nearby also scattered to find a place to hide. The lion, standing motionless in the middle of the sunburnt grassland, its sharp eyes watched its prey from afar. As the ruler of the savanna, it possessed a muscular body, rippling muscles hidden under its golden fur reflecting the sunlight. It waited for an opportunity to come. The moment the savanna seemed to be calm, the mother wild boar ran out of the grass. Although its eyesight was not good, it still possessed an incredibly sharp sense of smell and hearing, enough to feel the heavy breath of death lurking nearby. It saw the lion, and without waiting another second, the pig turned around and ran away. The piglets panicked and hid in the nearest cave. The chase began. The lion suddenly rushed forward, chasing the mother pig. The mother pig ran in circles, her tail standing straight like a flagpole. It was a distraction tactic. The lion followed closely, its claws touching the opponent's heels. But when it seemed close enough, the wild boar changed direction, turned sharply, and disappeared. The lion missed its bite. In that moment, the seemingly weak one had disoriented the king of the grasslands. And on the Savanna, where every return is a matter of life and death, one failure is enough to make the hunter wary of the next. During the move, the mother pig always leads, the cubs follow, and the tail is held straight like a flagpole, a signal to keep the formation in the tall grass. Together they forage, rest, and sleep in abandoned burrows, frequently changing places to avoid predators. In the wild, wild boars are a symbol of resilience and have a strong herd instinct. After mating, the female pig is pregnant for about 5 to 6 months, then goes to abandoned caves to give birth. Each litter of wild boars can give birth to 2 to 4 young. However, survival conditions depend on environmental conditions. A group usually consists of one adult female and her young, forming a close-knit family unit. They will forage together and sleep in the cave. They often change places to avoid predators. However, in the dangerous wild world, just one wrong step can change fate. A young pig falls behind, separated from the herd. Without the protection of its mother, without the upright tail to guide the way through the grass. From afar, a lion is watching. This time, it does not give the young wild boar another chance. Without hesitation, a decisive charge. The short life of the young wild boar ended. It collapsed before the lion's precise bite. Under the canopy, the chase ended. As the lions gathered around the worthy reward after many hours of tracking and coordinating the hunt. They were eager. The whole herd moved around the food source. Not fighting, but arranging according to natural order. After filling their stomachs, they lay down on the grass under the soft afternoon sun. The lion cubs played, climbed on each other, and circled around the mother lion. In a moment that seemed only for the relentless hunt, the warmth appeared where life came from strong instincts and was nurtured by the bond of generations of the dominant species. Before that scene, the wild boar herd was still moving forward. The wild boar herd continued to move in silence, following each other in a line. Leading the way was the mother wild boar. They slowly moved towards the riverbank. After a tiring and stressful journey, water became the only thing the herd needed at this moment. The water's surface was like a mirror reflecting the sky. But the Savanna never gave peace for free. Without a sound, a dark shadow crawled close to the water's surface, slowly, almost motionless. The caiman. The veteran predator of the tropical swamp. It was the embodiment of patience and camouflage. With its rough skin like rotten tree bark, it blended perfectly into the natural setting, making it almost impossible for strangers to detect its presence. Only its eyes protruded above the water, silently watching the herd of wild boars approaching the river's edge. After a long journey across the scorching savanna, the herd of wild boars finally found a source of water. They approached with a wary attitude, but their burning thirst overshadowed them. And suddenly, the caiman sprang up. A bite hit the wild boar standing closest to the shore. The water splashed. With the deadly twist, all resistance became meaningless. In an instant, both disappeared under the murky water, leaving only slight ripples on the river surface as if nothing had happened. The water surface became calm, a lightning-fast hunt. It was a clear demonstration of the cruel law. In this land, even a second of carelessness could be the last thing. The water surface returned to calm, only ripples gradually spreading in the scorching sunlight. The hunt was over, but the air had not yet completely calmed down. In In the distance, the herd of antelope continued to graze, their eyes still occasionally glancing towards the river, as if to make sure that the distance was safe enough. The silence at this moment was not peace, but the silence between two beats of the chain of survival. Any moment could become the signal for another chase. Amidst the dry grasses burning yellow in the late afternoon sun, the savanna falls into a strange silence. Life seems to slow down, but in that silence, danger still creeps in step by step. In the middle of that grass, a wild boar is absorbed in separating from the herd, lost and unwary. It moves cautiously, but enough to feel the eyes following its every move. It is the jaguar. A predator with speed and precision. Its distinctive spotted fur helps it blend into the light and shade of the savanna, creating an absolute advantage when ambushing. Unlike the crocodile, which waits in silence, the jaguar is an active hunter, always taking advantage of speed and power. The wild boar lowers its head to sniff, not realizing that the distance between it and the danger is shortening. The jaguar lowers its body. It knows that timing is everything. With a powerful leap, it rushed out of its hiding place at a terrifying speed. A moment of panic, but it was too late. The bite was accurate. The wild boar could only struggle in vain. It all happened within a few seconds, as nature often ends the stories of the weak in this dangerous world. A moment of panic, but it was too late. The bite was accurate. The wild boar could only struggle in vain. As the sun gradually disappeared behind the distant trees at the end of the horizon, the savanna sank into a brilliant but equally harsh sunset. On that seemingly motionless land, every inch of grass, every ripple of water, had witnessed the constant battle of wits and strength between the hunter and the prey. But no matter how resilient, just one moment of losing rhythm, the price to pay is life. That is the immutable law of nature. Where life and death are decided by the ability to adapt and the courage to survive. If you love true stories between species, follow the channel to be able to join us to discover more magical moments of survival in the wild. The Savanna, where life and death are only a breath away. Here there is no room for hesitation. Every creature must choose, hunt or be hunted. In the tall grass and scorching sun, lions stalk, hyenas bide their time. They fight not just for food, but for control, for survival. This is a land where conflict is the norm and only the strong survive another day. Lions and hyenas, the battle of the rulers. The red sun hangs over the horizon, scorching every inch of dry, cracked earth beneath their feet. The African savanna opens up like a vast, empty and merciless sea of burnt grass. Here, life is a privilege paid for with skill, courage and speed. No luck lasts forever. Only those who understand the harsh laws survive. And in the middle of the picture, two names echo like an ancient curse of the land: the lion who rules by force, and the hyena who challenges by trickery. They are not enemies born to destroy each other. They are opposites, growing together in a world where everything has a price. Every step of the antelope, every heartbeat of the zebra, every shallow puddle can be the spark that ignites the chase for survival. The lion lurks in the shadows, his eyes as sharp as a knife. The hyena watches silently from a distance, unhurried but always ready. Here, roaring is the law, blood is the border, and hunger is the eternal drive. No weaklings are spared. No mercy exists. But behind every pounce, every howl, there is a functioning ecosystem, a tight chain that keeps all life from collapsing. Every time it rains, life seems to revive. But just a few days later, the sun rises and death quietly walks across the soft grass. This is where the greatest creatures, both in stature and will, are tested. And it is in this cracked land that predators like lions and hyenas fight not only for food, but also to assert their position in the great epic called the steppe. Under the scorching sun of the African steppe, there is a shadow moving majestically and decisively. Not in a hurry, not in a commotion, but each step makes space seem to slow down. That is the lion, the uncrowned king of the steppe. But the throne here does not come from strength alone. It is built on blood, on discipline, on instincts honed over millions of years of evolution, and above all, on an irreplaceable role in the cycle of nature. Lions are the only big cats that live in packs. A social unit consists of an average of 8 to 15 individuals, but can be up to more than 30, where each individual has a clear position and task. Contrary to what many people imagine, it is the female lions who are the main hunters. They are not alone. Each hunt is a silent but extremely effective coordination. One acts as bait, the others circle behind. They do not need to signal with sounds. Eyes, standing position, footstep, all have become an instinctive language transmitted through blood and flesh. With a breakaway speed of up to 60 km/h and the ability to accelerate quickly, a female lion can approach prey in just a few seconds. But what makes death is not speed, but patience. Many hunts last for hours, where each step is calculated, each bush becomes a hiding place. When the opportunity comes, a pounce, just one, ends the life of a prey. And when it does, it's a sign. Territory has been marked. A lion's roar can be heard up to 8 kilometers away under ideal conditions. It's not just a means of communication, it's also a declaration of dominance. Any stranger who hears it will know they've entered unwelcome territory. The male lion, strong-hearted but lonely, is the embodiment of pure power. With a thick mane like a natural armor, they do not hunt as often as the female lions, but are the guardians. They protect the pride from other male lions, from hyenas, from wild dogs. And every confrontation between two adult male lions is a real fight, where scratches, bites, and even roars determine who is worthy of the throne. The average lifespan of a male lion when leading a pride is usually only 3 to 5 years. After that, he will be replaced by a stronger one or chased away, injured, and live out the rest of his days alone, in quiet and tragic. But during his reign, he has the duty to propagate, guard, and maintain stability for the whole pride. When a new male lion takes over the pride, he will kill all the cubs that are not his own. A cruel behavior, but with a clear biological reason, to get the female back into the reproductive cycle as soon as possible. Lions are not senseless killers. On the contrary, each time they kill, they contribute to the regulation of the ecosystem. They mainly hunt old, slow, sick prey, eliminating individuals that are susceptible to spreading diseases from the population. In this way, herds of antelope, buffalo, or zebra can maintain their general health and avoid dangerous outbreaks. It is also thanks to lions that the herbivore population does not exceed the carrying capacity of the ecosystem, thereby keeping the savanna from being destroyed by overgrazing. When the feast is over, the remains of the prey will become a source of life for hyenas, vultures, foxes, even flies and microorganisms. One death is the beginning of another chain of life. In the eyes of humans, lions may be symbols of power, but in the eyes of nature, they are the link that regulates order and chaos. If the lions were to disappear one day, the savanna would no longer be the same. The number of antelopes would skyrocket, the grass would be eaten away, the land would dry up, the water sources would dry up, and the entire ecosystem would collapse in a chain reaction. So the lion is not just a hunter, it is a balancer. It is a living symbol of stability in the chaotic flow of nature. It is the final boundary between life and collapse. And when it roars in the red sunset, not only its cubs, but the entire savanna seems to fall silent to listen. On the vast African savanna, the hyena is not as majestic as the lion, not as graceful as the leopard, nor as quiet as the wild dog. But in this harsh land, the hyena is one of the most resilient creatures. Labeled as a scavenger, the hyena has long been misunderstood, considered a symbol of cowardice, opportunism, and filth. But if we look closely, we will see that behind that hostile look is a story of survival, full of strategy, organization, and very human. Spotted hyenas, the most common species in Africa, live in large packs, from a few individuals to more than 80. What is special is that their society is matriarchal. The females are larger, stronger, and completely dominant compared to the males. A female alpha hyena can rule for decades, holding the supreme position in a strict hierarchy. Unlike many other animals, the hierarchy in a hyena pack is determined not only by strength, but also by kinship and inheritance from mother to child. The most prominent feature of the hyena lies in its extraordinary jaws. With a bite force of up to 1100 psi, stronger than that of a lion, a hyena can easily crush a buffalo's thigh bone, eat the marrow, gnaw down to the base of the skull, and swallow everything that is left. They have super strong stomachs that can digest almost any organic material, including skin, tendons, and bones. While many species only choose the soft parts, hyenas make full use of their prey, leaving nothing to waste. But hyenas don't just eat carcasses. Many studies have confirmed that more than 50% of their food is hunted by themselves. They are intelligent stalkers, know how to organize, coordinate, and persistently pursue their prey to the end. They don't accelerate suddenly like lions, but have outstanding endurance, can run continuously for kilometers without getting tired, causing the prey to gradually become exhausted and collapse. A hyena chase can last more than 30 minutes, and when it ends, the entire pack rushes to tear the prey apart with terrifying laughter. Laughter is actually one of the many rich forms of sound communication that hyenas use. They can emit more than 10 different types of sounds: groans, howls, roars. Each sound conveys a meaning, warning of danger, calling for their own kind, threatening enemies, or announcing the presence of a dead prey. The characteristic laughter is heard when agitated, usually when stealing meat from a lion or when fighting over food. It is not a happy sound, but a symbol of stress and challenge. Intelligent and patient, hyenas also have outstanding memory and learning abilities. They know how to monitor the behavior of different lion prides, identify weak individuals and find weak points. They wait for the lions to get tired after hunting, then appear in groups, surround and threaten them. In some situations, when the number is overwhelming enough, hyenas can force even female lions to leave the carcass and retreat. However, hyenas do not always win. When a male lion appears, the hyena's advantage immediately disappears. An adult male lion can kill 2 to 3 hyenas in just a few minutes. In many conflicts, lions will not eat hyenas. They kill only to eliminate threats, to warn, to maintain order. However, hyenas have never disappeared. On the contrary, they thrive in many places where lions have declined. Because hyenas are more adaptable, living in arid places near residential areas and foraging for food from garbage, carcasses, or hunting small prey. As the environment changes, as human intervention makes the wild world more cramped, it is hyenas, not lions, that are gradually taking over the remaining land. Although considered a fearsome species, the nature of hyenas is not much different from humans. They know how to bond, be loyal to their pack, raise their young, divide into hierarchies, and protect their territories. They know how to wait, assess risks, and sometimes know how to give in. All of this is not because of morality, but because of survival instinct. In a world where every choice has a price to pay for life, the existence of hyenas is proof that the strongest is not just the strongest, but the one who knows how to observe, knows how to persevere, knows how to hide, and knows how to wait for the right time. An antelope carcass lies still on the dry, cracked ground. The blood is still fresh, but the real battle has just begun. The lion has just brought down its prey and has not yet eaten half of it when the first figure appears. The hyenas. 1, then 3, then the whole pack arrives. They do not need to lurk. They come to claim their share. The lion roars, baring its fangs in warning. But the hyenas do not retreat. They disperse, surround from all sides, bite once, then retreat immediately. The battle is not always about blood and claws. Sometimes just making the opponent impatient, tired, is enough to win. When the lion is alone, the opportunity opens up for the hyenas. With numbers, they overwhelm with pressure. Howls, laughter echo in the dust. A sudden bite to the leg, a drag of the prey from behind. The lion turns around to fight back, but each breath becomes heavier. Without its comrades, it would have to abandon its food and retreat. But everything changed when the male lion appeared. A large shadow with a thick, dark mane, walking unhurriedly but menacingly. The hyena paused, then ran. One pounce from the male was enough to break a hyena's neck. It was no longer a fight, it was a warning. confrontation between lions and hyenas is not simply a robbery. It is a struggle between strength and tactics, between lone might and united numbers. No one wins forever. No one keeps every meal, but every struggle leaves its mark on the body, in the memory, and in the eyes that never leave the prey. Amidst the roars and laughter, between the majestic silhouette of the lion and the patient silence of the hyena, the savanna continues to turn. Every day that passes, dozens of lives are lost, hundreds of animals are born. It is the relentless cycle of nature, cruel but perfect. The lion is not the dictator of the savanna, nor is the hyena merely an opportunist. They are two opposing forces, but together they create a fragile balance, where one controls the other, where power is restrained by intelligence, and where life is nurtured by death. No species is a villain. Every pounce, every bite, every fight over a carcass is an act of instinct, of survival. It is the fierce competition between lions and hyenas that keeps the savanna from falling into chaos, helping the weaker species survive in a natural order that has been tested for millions of years. But now that fragile boundary is threatened. As humans expand, territory shrinks. As hunting, pollution, and climate change take hold, the ancient rulers are pushed back. And if one or both disappear, the silence will not be peaceful. It will be a sign of disruption. In the wild, everything is connected. Lions need hyenas to keep from becoming complacent. Hyenas need lions to keep from becoming dominant. And both need the savanna, where every drop of blood, every footprint in the soil tells a long, fierce and magnificent story. As the sun sank below the dusty horizon, and the wind began to blow through the grass again, a low growl sounded in the distance, then mixed with a sharp laugh that echoed from the opposite direction. The steppe was not asleep. And the battle for survival continued day after day, in a symphony of survival that never ended.